すごい数の映画に関わってると思うんですけど、多分ここにいるみんなが知らないであろうなともあるので、こういう映画やってたよっていうちょっとリストをいただければ。
そうですか。
はい。
私はやはり中島さんがやりされたから、ゴジラの顔を作るというか、着ぐるみを作ることができたかなと思います。その他にいろんな中島さんが入られる着ぐるみを映画に入れるのをみんなこう作ってきたんですが、非常に私は光栄に思っております。
So first off, let me say it's an honor to be able to have this job. Because of Nakajima-san and like Toho, like companies like Toho, I was able to thrive in this industry. And yeah, if they weren't there, then I wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't have these great movies.
本当にね、最初から言いますと、私は背中に影が入っているバラの話ですね。あれが東宝に入った時に初めてバラを作ったんですが。
バラ？
はい。
The one with the pointy needles? He said needles. So that was in 1959.
それからキングギドラね、羽が生えた、首の長い
The one with the wings, King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah? Yes. The long neck and wings. And the one with the big wings, Mosra?
いろんなその怪人が出てきたんですけれども、キンコン対こちらの
King Kong? Yeah, so there's a lot of kaiju in it, but King Kong versus Godzilla. And he worked. So 1962?
それとあと、東宝にいた時にはそういう着ぐるみをたくさん作ったんですが、東宝辞めてからはですね、皆さんがご存知かと思いますが、北の方があるし、テレビの方で放映した映画とかいろんなところで出てる北のザウルスとかいろいろそういう着ぐるみがたくさんっていうので、数の場合が多すぎてちょっとわからなくていい。
So this is all, the ones that he listed before were from when he was in Toho, and after he quit Toho, he worked on a lot of stuff, and Titanosaurus. And then the others, he can't remember. He just worked on so many, he can't remember.
それでですね、今回こちらに来たのはですね、やはり私が最初ゴジラを作り始めた頃のスチール写真を撮ってきたんですね。で、そのスチール写真を撮ったものが日本では公開されていなかったんです。それが今回も初めて雑誌になって出すことができた。今回たくさん放送してますので、皆さん好きな方はどうぞ。
So there's a lot of pictures that he took when he was working on Gojira no sakuhin. So he took a lot of pictures when he was working on Gojira, and these pictures were never released before. And this time, the reason why he came to the U.S. is that he published a book with all those pictures, never seen before pictures in it. So if you could check that out, that'd be great.
So you can come to his table, he has that available.
Of course.
その写真はブラスさんが本当にプライベートで撮った写真なんで、要するに今までどこにも発表されなかったその怪獣たちの写真がたくさん写っています。
So basically, these pictures are him. He himself took them on his own camera. So it's not like a photographer from a specific magazine or anything took them. So they're really rare because if it's a magazine photographer, then it was probably published somewhere. But these are just his personal collections. So.
その本を一応僕がプロデュースしてるんでよろしくお願いします。
And he's the producer of that book. So.
For Mr. Wakasa, I'd like to know what inspired him to become a special effects makeup artist and creature creator for the movies. Any American films, Japanese films, what were his favorite movies or television shows that inspired him for this kind of work?
そうですね、何に影響されてこの仕事に就いたのかですね、例えば、日本の映画でもアメリカの映画でも何でもいいですけど、どういうものに影響されたのか。
僕は1960年生まれで、4歳の時にウルトラ Q を見て、もうその頃要は日本には怪獣っていう怪物が現れて、でそれを見て、本当に子供の時から小学校ぐらいまで、でもそのほとんどが中島さんが怪獣に入っていて、村瀬さんがその怪獣を作ってたやつを見て、そのまんまそういうものが好きになってこの世界に入りました。
So when he was 4 years old, he first saw Ultra Q.
Yeah, Ultra Q.
And Ultra Q had, oh, you go ahead and clap. So Ultra Q had like a lot of kaiju in it, and then so he's been watching these kaiju. So he got into kaiju when he was 4 years old, and been watching it all the way through elementary school. And obviously, those were the movies that Nakajima-san was acting in, and he created the kaiju. So yeah, that's how he got into the industry.
でそれがその本当に普通にその怪獣を好きで、大人になりかけた時に「スター・ウォーズ」っていうのを18歳で見て、それでいろんなこっちのリック・ベイカーとか、ニック・スミスとか、とにかくその「スター・ウォーズ」ぐらいでアメリカのその映画の特殊メニューを持つようになって、特殊メニューを。
So he's already like kaiju, but when he was 18 years old, he saw a movie called Star Wars. And I guess it impressed him with all the makeup and all the effects that they had, and he decided, okay, this is what I want to do for a living.
So I'd like to ask Mr. Nakajima, when they were making these films, of course, the first Godzilla film, was brand new for the director and the special effects staff. But as they progressed and made more Godzilla movies, what was the process of fitting the suit to him? Was there anything special that they did to accommodate him as the actor inside?
中島さんに質問です。ゴジラの映画を作るにあたってすごいたくさん出てきたじゃないですか。それについてちょっとフィッティングがどんな感じだったのかちょっと知りたいそうです。はい、そうですね。ごめんなさい。ゴジラの映画を作るときにたくさん作り始めたじゃないですか。それに関してゴジラのスーツのフィッティングっていうか、どういう風な感じでそういうプロセスっていうんですかね、どういう順序っていうのかな。
このゴジラって戦争が終わって材料っていうのは一つもないんですよ。
So at that
あい
time,
つあらゆるものを探して作ったのが三世のゴジラであって、でもね、ゴジラっていう皆さん簡単に言うけども、ゴジラっていうのは昔なかったんですよ。
so at the time when the first Gojira was made, it was right after the war. So like there was nothing in Japan. There's no materials. There's just no resources, and even within that, they made the first Gojira. So like you think like, oh, Gojira is so it's so common, but it was really like a lot of work. So
一番最初私が台本もらった時はね、シナリオですね。それ見たらね、ゴジラじゃないんです。アルファベットの G 作品っていうだけだ。
So when he first got the script, it didn't even say Gojira. It just said Project G.
で約1ヶ月ぐらい撮影が終わって、それからようやく出てきたゴジラっていう名前が。撮影を1ヶ月ぐらい経ってから出てきたんですよ。
So after filming for about a month, finally the name Gojira came out.
だからその頃はね、モンスターっていうのはね、何にもないんですよね。
So
架空の動物を作ろうというアイデアでもって G 作品っていうのがあった。
at the time, like yeah, there's no
いう連中もいないんですよね。
And of course, there's no one like these people who
しばらく
designed.
経ってから出てきたんで、
Yeah, they came like after everything was done.
私はびっくりした。いろんな人が出てくるんだね。びっくりしちゃった。
Yes, I was surprised like how so many people just came out and just
だって
started
私は
designing.
何もないんだからね。
Because like when we first started, it was real like there's really nobody, there's nothing. We just started from nothing.
今ぐらいこう盛大にやってくれるのはありがたいことですよ。
So I'm really thankful that like there's all of you here who would appreciate.
相棒がいないと前に芝居ってのはできないんですよね。
So
片方の相手はね。
unless you have like a idea, you really can't act and you really can't do anything. So
いろんな会社が出てくるエビだとかね、ゴジラの逆襲の時にモンスターになったりなんかする怪獣がいましてね、関田っていう人がいましてね、その人が僕の相棒だったんです。相棒がいないとうまくできないですよ。
yeah, so unless I have a partner like Agiras or Edina.
やっぱりね、相手がうまくやってくれないと、やっぱりこっちも本当の芝居ってのはできない。
Yeah, so without a partner to act against, I really can't act on my own. So
でも関田っていう人が出てきてね、僕はよかったね。そうそう、サンダー。私は書いた。ただいろんな芝居もやってね、キングオブコングもやったりしてね、キングオブの逆襲の時の関田の場合はモンスターってやったロボット。
So I'm really thankful for Mr. Sekita who had acted opposite him, and especially like with King Kong, he was the robot.
Yeah, King Kong escapes. Mr. Sekida was Mechanicon, and he was also Gorosaurus. So him and Mr. Nakajima acted a lot together, including in War of the Gargantuas. Mr. Nakajima was Gyro, and the Green Gargantua, and Mr. Sekida was Sanda, the brown one.
実はね、相棒の良さということはね、どういうことか分かりますかね。
So I want to ask you a question. Like, do you really know what makes a good partner, or why having a partner is so good?
どんな芝居でも相棒がいないとできないんですよ。
So no matter, it doesn't matter what acting it is, you need a
だから
partner.
一人芝居になっちゃうからね。相手がいて、こういう全部お題を全部やってくる俳優さんってのはありがたいです。
So I'm really thankful for an actor who would do some things for me to react to that acting.
いろんな俳優がいるけどね、いろいろとねやってみたけどできない人もいるんだよね。
So I've acted with a lot of people, but you know what? Like, there's a lot of people who can't really act.
だからね、うまくできる人は本当にありがたい。
Yeah, so I'm really thankful for the people who could really act.
いろんなことがあるんですね。いろんなことばっかり言って、なんか後輩に、なんか、
Yeah, so I'm talking too much, so if you could ask more questions to my...
I'm going to ask Mr. Murase. On the early films, Varan and the ones that soon followed,
ですね、やはりゴジラを最初やった時はものすごく体が材料の点で重くて、結局中島さんがすごく苦労したと思うんです。演技する上でね。それなんですが、私が入ってからバラの初めこの三大会長を作ったり、いろいろ今回いろいろそこでやってきたんですが、
だんだん新しい材料がどんどん出てきたというか、見つけていろんなものを作り始めたといいますかね。そんなんで、だけれど実際に、いろいろこうやってきた中で、その、
Please let her translate.
ありがとうございます。So basically, he was talking and talking and talking, and obviously I'm taking notes. But Nakajima-san's like, dude, you gotta like pause so the translator can translate. So thank you, Nakajima-san. So basically, he was talking about when Nakajima-san first started acting as Gojira. The materials made the suit really heavy, and it was really hard to act in them. Like I think it required a lot of like energy and stamina to, you know, be walking around. I don't know how Gojira walks, but so. But then we started getting like more new materials to make it lighter or make it easier to walk in, or we'll go not create materials, but search for more or seek more new materials that would make it easier. So that's what he's talking about. And he's adding something.
中島さんがゴジラだったので、村さんが59年で、ちょうどそのゴジラ、最初のゴジラから5年後に村さんが始めた。
So actually, he's adding that. So the first Godzilla came out in 1954, and then Murase-san joined in 1959. So it was about like maybe 5 years when they started changing the materials.
そういうふうにですね、いろいろ作ってきたんですが、どんどん作っているうちに、そのキングギドラのこう絵をですね、西川さんがこう描いてくれた絵によって作ったんですけれども、あまりにも絵が良すぎて、我々造形泣かせの、デザインを描いていただきました。
So yeah, he's been making a lot of kaiju suits, but like you know King Kidra. And then, but when Nishikawa-san came into the picture and started designing, the designs were so good that like it was actually really tough for us creators to make the actual suits based on his design. So that's around like 1992.
それで、やはりデザインの良さによって我々造形がいかに、いいものを作っていくか、中に入る人たちが非常に動きやすく、やれるように作るかというそういう造形のプロがありました。
So what's really difficult for us suit creators is that we have to make creatures suits that are accurate to the design, the good designs that are made, but also we have to think about mobility, or like we have to think about the actors who are going to be moving in it. So yeah, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of suffering.
I'd like to know the difference in the process, if you can explain the difference making the monster suits when for the newer films versus
最初のその54年のゴジラっていうのは基本その材料がない中であの形を作らなきゃいけなかったので本当に大変だったと思うんですけど、もう僕がこの世界に入った70年代の後半からはかなりの材料があったので、ほとんどの表現が可能になりました。
So in 1954, when Gojira was first made, it must have been tough because with the materials that they had on hand, like it was probably not, it was very stiff, and he joined the industry like in the late 70s, and they had different materials, so they actually had more leeway with what kind of expressions that the kaiju could make, so it was really nice.
で僕が最後にゴジラの作品に関わったのが 2004年の「ファイナル・ウォーズ」っていうゴジラ映画が最後なんですけど、だからそのぐらい、軽くてフレキシブルなゴジラになります。
So the last Gojira that I was involved in was the Final Wars. Godzilla Final Wars in 2004, and so the suit worn for that one was, I'm sorry to say it in kilograms, but it's 30, like less than 30 kilograms. So multiply with that by 2.5. and the Gojira suit that Nakajima-san wore in 1954 was about 100 kilograms. So it's a huge difference. So yeah, so when we made the Final Wars, it was very light and flexible. That's it.
So, for Mr. Nakajima, I'd like to ask, what movie or project that he had worked on, that the final product matched what he imagined?
中島さんに質問です。今まで入ってきた映画の中で一番なんだろう。So the design matched the
his performance, everything matched what he imagined it would be.
自分が一番これが一番いい出来だなって思う映画はどれでしょう。自分の演じたようにちゃんとできたな。
これはね、いろんなアクションを全部自分で考えてやってますからね、ディレクターが専門にやってるんじゃないんですよ。私も専門にやってるんですよ。だからね、いろんな作品がどれが一番いいかというと、全部一生懸命やってるのが一番いいですね。
So all of my acting in these different movies, it's really up to me. It was up to me how I acted, and it was not like what the director has specifically said. So I think the best movie is the one where we all worked really hard on it.
僕は徳さんと26本やっておりますけどね、26本全部がいいですよ。
And I
どれ
think
がいいとかなんかって言ったら、
so. I've been in 26 movies. And I think all 26 movies are good.
Good answer. I'd like to ask the same type of question to Mr. Murase. What project or creature design or just any aspect of the movies, when he saw the final image on screen, what was the most satisfying for him? What matched his expectations and imagination?
じゃあ村瀬さんに質問ですね。似たような質問なんですけど、一番これは俺の中でいい出来だったな、こういう作ったように演出されたり、映像で見られたなっていうのありますか？
数が多いのでね、本当にちょっとどれがと言われても非常に分かりづらいというか、やはり中島さんの、ゴジラに対するその相手役の出てくるものが対してこう変わったものを作るんで、それを作るのがやはり非常に難しかったですね。
So it's really hard to say which one is my favorite or which one was the most satisfying, because there's just so many kaiju that he created that went against Nakajima-san's Gojira. So
ですから、キングコングですとやはり中に人が入ってますけど、キングギドラはモスラは人が入っていないので、やはりそれをこの動かす方と、中島さんとの戦いをやるためにどう作るかということは難しかったですね。
So, like for King Kong, I guess someone's in King Kong, but not in King Ghidorah and Mothra. Like they don't have people inside, so it was really hard to figure out how they're gonna move because there's no actor inside.
中島さんの記載に入っていられた時って私がついてからはいつも撮影の現場で、暑いからこう着ぐるみを脱がしてあげたり、いろいろあったんですが、タバコを吸いたい時は、自分の見てる覗く時のところにタバコを入れて中島さんに吸わせてあげたりとか、非常に普通じゃ考えられないことをやってました。
So, I'm not sure if he's answering your question here, but he's just talking about the general filming atmosphere. And so, like, there's times when, like, when they're filming, because it's so hot, like, he'll help Nakajima-san take off the suit, or if Nakajima-san says, "Dude, I want to smoke," then they'll get like a cigarette and try to like stick it through the.
それと暑い時にはですね、非常に、撮影現場がライトで暑いものですから、扇風機で顔のとこを冷やしてあげたりとかね。
And because of the lights, it's so hot, so he'll like bring like fans. And I think at the time they were pretty big, right? So he'll just bring it and blow it towards the actors.
あと背中をこうガスが開けて後ろから扇風機でこう冷やしてあげたりとか。
Or like there's a zipper in the back, and then they'll unzip and then point the fan inside the suit from the zipper opening.
本当に我々は表に行ったらその割かもしれないんですが、やはり中に入っている中島さんは本当に苦労なさったと思います。
So yeah, like we wouldn't know how it feels like it was inside the suit, but I think like for people like Nakajima-san and all the actors, it must have been really tough.
いつもそれの毎日繰り返しですね。
Yeah, and then we have to keep we had to like go through that same motions every day, like the fans and the cigarettes.
So we're going to take some questions from the audience. So I want anybody who wants to ask a question come and line up here. I'm going to ask Mr. Wakasa a question while he's talking. You can come up here and we'll take your question. For Mr. Wakasa, I'd like to know which of the special effects directors did he enjoy working with and why?
若狭さんに質問ですね。一番一緒に働いて楽しかったなっていう監督とかいますか？
まあそういう意味では僕の命の恩人とも呼べる鈴木さんっていう監督がいて、その鈴木さんとやっぱりあれだな、一番楽しい作品が作れたと思います。
So there's this one director that I could say I owe my life to, which is Mr. Suzuki. So I think anything that I worked with him was really fun.
Okay, so our first question from the audience.
This is to Nakajima. I'm a big fan of the Godzilla vs. Sea Monster film. I just want to ask, at the end of the movie when Godzilla rips Ebura's claws off, who came up with the idea to have Godzilla pinch the claws and Ebura's dead body floating away? Was that improvised by Nakajima, or was it someone else's idea?
ゴジラ vs.
映画というのはね、ゴジラという作品っていうのはね、本編と特撮と